crypto market continues to get crushed. And if you're trying to trade this market day to day, I think that there's much better opportunities out there to spend your time on. We've talked about opportunities inside of crypto, but the best trade that I have found and I have been making right now is in prediction markets. And there are some that are very crypto native. In this video, I'm going to go over where I have found an edge trading prediction markets, where my profit and loss screams to me where I need to be putting my money, and also how you can duplicate this strategy by using risk management and also just selecting your spots very specifically. So without further ado, let's jump into prediction markets and let's give out a few picks as well. And before we get started, guys, as always, if you enjoy the content here on the channel, I know the market's been rough, but we will find ways to win, including prediction markets. Be sure to drop down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on In the Game. We have you covered top to bottom with everything you need to know across the crypto market to come out on top. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors. You can check all of them out down below in the description. Today, I just want to give a big shout out to Gravity, what I would consider maybe the highest ROI for your time if you are farming airdrops, and especially perp dexes. This is the premier perp dex on ZK Sync, and I've been seeing some early numbers going around, maybe airdrop points worth $25, $29 in different circumstances already, and they did raise a good amount of capital. I think this TGE and this airdrop will be well worth your time. Drop down below and check out Gravity if you are looking for a place to trade, but also looking to have potential future ROI on an airdrop. Let's go ahead and jump into it. If you are living under a rock, which I assume if you're watching these videos, you are not living under a rock, prediction markets have been really taking over everything in the world. The other night, Kalshi was front and center on the UFC. They became the #1 app on the App Store. It was absolutely crazy. And if we just look at the volume, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, the weekly prediction market national volume this last week surpassed $3.7 billion in total volume. And look, Kalshi is basically leading the way here, $1.24 billion. And today they're approaching $4 billion in total prediction market volume. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. And it is just showing you there's not only a desire to trade stocks, trade crypto, people want to trade everything. And on prediction markets, you're not limited to anything. Today, they added the average sales price of Labubus. So if you don't like Labubus, if you watch the South Park episode and you believe in their TikToks, you can short Labubus, okay? You can bet on what, NVIDIA will say on their next earnings call. It's pretty crazy. This is the trade everything economy and the trade everything app. But the one thing I've been really dialed in on is finding a process and then working to scale that up. That is all I'm looking to do right now, especially because I think I have found my edge pretty clearly. Let's just move over to my profile page here. And if you guys remember from the last prediction market video we did, I actually started very light. I only deposited $250, okay? Like that's what I started with. And you can see here my portfolio now, just with that initial deposit, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to think this is pure speculation, just basically rolling a dice. But if you have an edge and find what you're good at, and Kalshi luckily gives you the tools to figure out, okay, I'm losing on these markets, but I'm winning on these markets. Here's what I need to do to start making more profit, right? So I've over 5x'd almost my money on my current portfolio, and my profit, I'm up $1,300 just off $250. So not only did I go in just with a size that anyone can start with, it's showing you that there's a real tangible upside here, especially in a time where the crypto markets aren't performing that well. So recently I've been trying to figure out my strategy, where I'm going to scale up on prediction markets. And I think I have definitely found my spots. For some reason, if you think prediction markets are a fad or they're going to fade away, I don't think that that's the case. If you watch an NBA game, you see all these different advertisements for Prize Picks, DraftKings, FanDuel, etc. And I think Kalshi and Polymarket prediction markets are just the next evolution of that, which instead is for just the everyday person. Look, you could be privy on music. You could be privy on television. You could be very interested in politics, sports, whatever the case is. You can find a niche that suits your, interest and hobbies on Kalshi or Polymarket to be able to profit. We see here Kalshi partnering up with Prize Picks. We see Robinhood leaning into prediction markets. We see Kalshi partnering up with Dune. And look, they're CFTC regulated, the #1 prediction market by weekly volume, which is Kalshi. And then as of today, they partnered up with StockX. You can trade the values of Labubus, Supremes, Pokemons, Jordans, whatever the case is. So, I mean, this is mainstream. This is front and center. And I think if you're going to play around with it, don't just deposit money and go, place trades on what they're going to say in the next South Park episode. I don't think that that's the way you should go about it. Don't just come in here and toss money around and feel like, okay, this is so random. Let's just see what we can do here. I wouldn't say that's the best way to go about it. Find something you're good at and roll with it. And that's exactly what I've done. I'm going to go back here to my profile page. And if we go to top categories, okay, you can see in crypto, maybe I need to do more crypto stuff. I think I only placed like one trade here. It was only up $6. On politics, I know that's not my lane. All right, I'm down $147. On mention markets, I'm up $25. But it wasn't, the volatility there is so random to me. Like there's sometimes I was doing like World Series mention markets and they didn't say slide or dive in a baseball game where multiple people made diving plays. It just, some of it just feels kind of odd. So I've really slowed down my mention markets. On company markets, I'm down $12. And on social markets, I'm up $2. And on culture, I'm down $60. But there's a big outlier here. You can see on sports markets, I am up $1,498 off of a $250 deposit, by the way. So really have been scaling this up, and I'm going to start going in with heavier size per trade and really try to level up this profit to 10K, hopefully, by the end of the year, just with that 200. I don't plan to deposit again. I really just want to scale this up and trade this account up, basically like a 250 to 10K challenge. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So as you can see, sports are definitely my sweet spot. Okay, I pay attention to sports hand over fist. I watch a ton of games. I'm always in the trenches when it comes to paying attention to the landscape of sports. So when I look across the board, for example, today, they have a ton of options, and I wouldn't say, look, is there free money options? Absolutely. And I think that people get this all wrong. So Oklahoma City, best team in the NBA, let's just say. They're playing Sacramento tonight. Sacramento is abysmal at best. Oklahoma City, the best team in the NBA, has lost one game all season. But the problem is, if you put $500 on Oklahoma City, you only win $29. But retrace that thought process, okay? That's not what you should be thinking of it as. You should be thinking of this as trading, right? And if you were to go in on a trade, let's just pull up a calculator here really quick. That right there, $500 to win $29. It's actually not as bad as you think. That's about a 7%, 6% gain if you are trading a traditional market. If you're trading a crypto and you put in $500 and you get $529 back, that's a win at the end of the day, right? So at the end of the day, I think a lot of people see these numbers and they're like, oh, that's not even worth it. But if you have a strategy, like I would be absolutely blown away if Sacramento wins that game, for example. So you can play heavy favorites like that and actually consider it like trading, right? You could go look at Denver, let's just say. If we were to put 500 on Denver, we win 557. So we get $57 in profit. That's a 10% profit over 3 hours trading a basketball game, okay? So when you think about these things, just pick your spots, whatever you want to do. Look, I don't even shame you. I've done the $29 profits off 50 because or 500. If you're thinking about it, that is a way to scale up your account. Yes, could you have a big loss here and there? Absolutely. But, the likelihood that Oklahoma City loses this game is very small, and that's still a 6% gain if you are considering it quote unquote trading. Now, the two that I really like tonight that I'm going to give you guys as official trades would be New York. So I've actually already put money on these. So I like the New York Knicks in Dallas. So Dallas is absolutely terrible. New York, I think, easily can take this game. So I put 200 on this. And if this was to pay out, it profits $72, which would be a 35% gain on my 200. So I put 200 to win 72 here at 73 cents on the New York Knicks. And my other play that I have for tonight that I really like is Miami against Golden State. It is in Miami and Steph Curry is out. So Steph Curry's not playing tonight in Miami. I just think that the Golden State's going to have a problem scoring the ball. Miami's offense has been absolutely kicking this year. They've been absolutely clicking on all cylinders. So I did put 200 on this to win 65. So that would also be about a 32.5% gain if they were to come through. So those are my two favorite picks for tonight. And the cool thing is a lot of the time you can also combine these picks. So if you wanted to, you can do combos, which you can place games in a multiple, you could do Denver, Oklahoma City, and New York all in one, and you could get a better payout if you do that. So that is what I am doing right now. And like I say, we can consider this the 250 to 10K challenge. I really think we can get there. And even if we have to play it, conservatively here and there or really risky with some of these, I think that we can definitely do it. And we're going to have multiple shows here every single week because I think during this time in the crypto market, people still need a way to trade, make money in these markets. So that's exactly what we're going to do. I like those two. And then one I'm going to put less money on because soccer is just high variance. And also in soccer, you can literally tie. So you have to keep that in mind. I do like a play in the Premier League this weekend. However, I think that this weekend I am looking at Arsenal at 69%. So if we were to buy Arsenal here for 100, we win 41. So that's a 41% gain. Arsenal's number one in the Premier League. They have the best defense maybe in Europe. So I'm going to place this right now, $100 to win 41. So that's a 41% gain on that position if we were to take it home. Let's see that official order go through. It is being reviewed and processed. Okay. All right, they got me in there. So 100 to win $41. So that's what I'm going to be taking on Kalshi over the next couple of days, and we'll update you guys on the next prediction market video. But before we wrap this up, also, if you are more into on-chain stuff, you want to keep it with crypto, Football.fun. This last weekend, we played out very well. A few of the players that we mentioned actually cashed out. Some people like Dak Prescott, for example, I think he was number 2 or 3 in quarterback points. So that worked out very well. And remember, if you win the week, if you win tournament points, you get to open packs. So I already opened all my packs, but these are just free money in your account, basically. You can activate these players, you can use them, you can trade them, whatever the case is. There's no restrictions. It's an open market. So you can do whatever you want with your tournament winnings and the players that you earn. So right now, last week was pretty good. And I do have a few picks this week for my lineup. So you have to set your lineup before Thursday. That is when the games begin. As you can see here, I have my lineup set. Couple things, especially for people in Europe. If you are just like new to American football, there are weeks where certain teams don't play. So this week, Denver and Miami, they don't have games. So make sure if you have Dolphins players like 𝗲𝗏𝗏 or Jalen Waddle, or if you have Broncos players like Bo Nix, Courtland Sutton, make sure you take them out of your lineup. Also, people like Ja'Marr Chase, although he is one of the best, if not the best wide receiver in the NFL, he's out this week. So make sure he's out of your lineup as well. Right now, this is my lineup that I am rolling with that you can see here on the screen. But what are some undervalued players out here if you want to try to swing trade some players? Let's just go look quickly. Number one, I think Dak Prescott is still being slept on like crazy. He's in one of the most pass-heavy offenses, and he's just at 2.5 cents. He had one of the best weeks in the entire game last week as far as the tournament points that he earned. I just think Dak Prescott is in an offense that scores enough points that you need to have a good amount of him. And at 2.5 cents, I think he's super undervalued. They play the Eagles this week. If they want to play with the Eagles, they're going to have to put up points. So I do like Dak Prescott at 2.5 cents. Another one, he didn't have a great game this last week, but I think this guy can win people a single game by himself if he does go off. I think 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 at 1.27 cents is a great play. He's the #1 running back over in Carolina. I think that that's an easy one. And then also, don't sleep on buying players low because they're not playing this week. What I mean by that, let's just go look. It's on the first page, I think. We can see, no, he's not even on the first page, which to me is ridiculous. 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗃 at 2.25 cents. This guy's trading 50% almost below other running backs of the same caliber. He's been going off this season, having a fantastic year. He's 4x undervalued Jonathan Taylor, but can give you Jonathan Taylor numbers on any given week. So to me, I like 𝗏. He's not playing this week. So I feel like people have sold him to buy more shares of others, but they're going to come back and buy 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗃 again whenever he is playing. And the same thing with Ja'Marr Chase. I mean, Ja'Marr Chase is 33% undervalued versus Jackson Smith-Njigba, for example, who is a fantastic player. And Ja'Marr Chase is not playing this week, but I feel like once he's back in the lineup, people are going to want to buy more of Ja'Marr Chase. So that's what I'm looking at right now for players that I think are undervalued, and we'll definitely continue to update. I think that this is strong. If we look at the trading market here on Football.fun, you can see $6.3 million market cap. That's really strong given the market conditions. I mean, if I pull up the crypto charts, it's really rough out there. And if we look at the weekly chart here on market cap, this thing went from 3.8 million all the way up to 6.3. I mean, this thing's going the opposite direction, and it sucks because if the crypto market was going up, I feel like this would look way better as well. So you're still early on this platform. That's what I'm looking at, guys, as far as Kalshi, Football.fun. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you playing around with prediction markets? Are you on Football.fun? I'll leave some links down below as well. If you want to sign up for either of these platforms, you have the option to do so. So, guys, like the video down below. Subscribe to the channel. I know it's not crypto, but this is a crypto integrated app. You can actually play with crypto on Kalshi. And on top of that, the markets are brutal. And, I mean, if you could be max short right now, and I admire that if you're, trading the crypto markets. But I just feel like the average trader should not be trading perps right now in the crypto market. So this is my alternative to make money and really scale this up and show you guys you can start with a small amount of money and be able to come through and actually make it out on top. We're going to take this account to 10K. I'm more than confident in that. So like the video down below, subscribe as well. And as always, trade responsibly, stay bullish, and play well, my friends.